What screams I'm uneducated?
Whenever some moron regurgitates a tired Facebook meme and pretends it gives them a moral/political/ethical stance.
Refusing to let someone share their side of a story or attempt to show you why they are correct in an argument and instead scream and yell about your feelings to make the other person give up.
Lazy and illiterate questions on local Facebook groups. When I look at my town's pages, it's full of people posting things like "What time is the station close?" These are questions that literally take less effort to look up than to ask, written by people who are incapable not only of easily answering their question but also of writing it properly.
After I was talking about flat earthers with my coworker, about how ridiculous it is or something similar, another coworker said, "I dunno, there's evidence for both sides of it." No, there's not. He also doesn't trust doctors. Contempt for educated people. Not the education system. Having contempt for that is fine. Just acting like people who know what they're talking about should be disregarded because they learned facts, I guess, graduated from School of Hard Knocks on Facebook. Edit. Who knew my first gold would be for criticism of Facebook profiles, trying to use big words just for the sake of it and to sound smart but in the complete wrong context.
Saying you don't want a raise because you'll pay more in taxes.
Hard opinions on things, especially a wide range of things. Not allowing for being wrong, or deferring to experts. Dumb people don't know how dumb they are, they don't realize that their opinions aren't based on facts, and likely they don't know the facts. So they'll yell the loudest, have their mind made up on every subject, and they don't listen to logic or evidence. People who have extremely strong opinions in subjects they have never researched. Mainly just regurgitating whatever the news said that morning. Edit. Thanks for my first silver stranger. Edit. 2 Thanks for all the karma too. Arguing about things you have no idea about.
Unnecessary apostrophes. An apostrophe doesn't mean look out, here comes the letter S. It is used for contractions and to show possession. I know the local restaurant caters weddings and events, and I hear their enchiladas are good, but damn.
Nice try, uneducated person. We are not telling you how to get away with it. Believing something because you saw something on TV about it once. Continually bragging about their education in a certain field. We've got a guy that works for us that claims to be a chef, we're a national pizza chain, and is not shy to tell you all about how he taught in a cooking school. Easily 3 out of 10 pizzas he makes has to be remade because of some glaring fuck-ups.
Being arrogant about things you know nothing about.
Facebook word porn posts that read shit like, "She thought she was caged until she spread her wings and flew." Let me speak from my experience on Reddit, which is almost exclusively discussing the unsolved disappearance of Maura Murray, Cr. Maura Murray sub and also Maura Murray. When educated people develop a theory, they will lead with the facts. When uneducated people develop a theory, they will lead with the theory and try to create facts, ignore established facts, or discredit them. Edit. Fix typo.
Me in my microbiology class. I've never felt more uneducated in my life.
When you're discussing an issue, and they are incapable of saying I'm honestly uneducated on that topic, so I can't really speak on it. Instead, they let ego drive the conversation, and end up looking even more uneducated.
Also, believing in any ideology that relies upon the idea that you are being led to by everyone. People who post things like, "If you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. I have an IQ of insert number."
Saying you can't trust science. One day coffee is good for you, next day it's bad for you. Scientists don't know or agree on anything. Tells me that you don't actually know anything about science, scientific method or publishing papers.
Posting something on social media that asserts your stance on a topic, and then expressing that any dissenting comments, not that they use the word dissenting, will be deleted.
Not realizing the importance of statistic significance. You are a sample size of 1. On a good number of big issues, even if you take all your experiences and those of people you know, it likely still wouldn't be enough to matter. Think vaccines don't work because 10 people you know got sick after taking them? Doesn't matter because of the overwhelming number of those who take them and are fine. Apply this to any other major topic, issue as you please. Trust the research and put your personal ignorance aside.
Belief in Chinese traditional medicine. My wife is Chinese, and is a doctor, a real one, of internal medicine in Pennsylvania. When someone we meet first hears she is a doctor, an uncomfortable percentage of the time, that person assumes she must be a doctor of Chinese herbalism, and that person is usually very supportive of her, praising alternative medicine as something that the West really needs to wake up and embrace. Then my wife has to politely tell them that evidence-based medicine is the only real medicine, and that herbalism, healing crystals, etc. should be used only when evidence-based has gone as far as it's able.
There's this girl at my school who thinks that sound is faster than light. You literally believes that it is somehow, even after being proven wrong many times by teachers and students. She still says technically it is. When we ask her why she thinks this, she ignores us.
When someone proves themselves wrong with their own argument, and they don't even realize it, that's a pretty good indicator that aren't running on all cylinders. Edit. Another good indicator is using terms like sheeple, woke, and wake up. Seeking the truth is incremental and is often a humbling grind that never ends. Another good one is nothing you ever say will convince me. This has been verbally expressed to me on an alarming number of occasions. It is the greatest of intellectual sins imaginable.
Grown-ass people not knowing how to send an email, download and open an attachment, claiming they never received a message. Basically user errors with everything they do. Not being able to admit you don't know something or ask questions. There is nothing wrong with not knowing, the problem is not trying to learn.
Gwyneth Paltrow's new Netflix series.
People that are proud that they don't read.
When the reasons you give for your arguments are all feelings.
Binary thinking, or trying to fit everything into a framework of good, bad, right, wrong. Every situation is the result of a confluence of factors, and the results of any action are almost certain to be positive for some but detrimental for others. Those results of a choice extend out into time and may change as the situation changes as well. Trying to fit everything into such a simplistic model is characteristic of someone with a limited ability to think critically, using the word irregardless in an attempt to sound educated. Because hey, more letters, right?
When people instantly start getting loud when they have the smallest inconvenience or altercation, repost this or else _.
Usually the screaming.
Often it is my spelling, punctuation and grammar that make people think I'm uneducated, but it's just dyslexia.
Look at all this snow we're getting, so much for global warming.
Calling someone a libtard conservacunt but or Trump supporter because they have different opinions than you. Or calling something fake news because you disagree with it.
Horoscopes. Anti-vax. Fistfights past high school. Anyone with an education usually realizes they have too much to lose by fighting someone and will avoid it unless it is absolutely necessary.
When you tell a doctor to do their research.
Capitalizing every first letter in every sentence screams I'm someone who wasn't paying attention in first grade. Also, it's a pain in the ass to type like that. Friend of mine at work. He's by no means unintelligent, he just had a fairly deprived childhood. Occasionally you'll come across some stunning gaps in what he knows. But then again he seems to have become something of an autodidact, so there will be random subjects he's well versed on. There's no rhyme or reason to any of it beyond what he happened to be interested in at the time.
Someone who constantly tries to make other people look unintelligent based on the smallest things, misspelling a word, stuttering, mixing up facts. If you try to make yourself seem like the smartest in the room by pointing out everyone's errors, then you're wasting a lot of time that could have been spent on educating yourself instead.
When they give their kids normal names, but spelled all fucked up.
Throwing trash anywhere or yelling at a service crew even if they only made a small mistake.
I'm a stable genius.
Holocaust deniers.
Just had an interview with a nurse today where she told my Asian boss that she used to work with Orientals but had to leave after 6 months because she didn't speak their language. After she left, I talked to my manager and was like, WTF? We are not hiring her, and this was one of the several things that was wrong lol.
Vaccines cause autism.
believing that large groups of people, whole demographics have a hidden agenda: the gays, the blacks, the Jews, etc.
Consistently voting for and supporting those that do not have your best interests in mind.
I don't have much life experience to draw upon, but I'm street smart.
Genuinely ignoring science because it's not in the Bible, so it's not real. Indifference to facts and information. Lack of curiosity. Even though they may have advanced degrees, they're not really on, if they aren't curious, or give a second thought to new information.
But I read it on insert favorite social media, opinion news website. It must be true.
When they cannot have a proper argument. Arguments should involve listening to what both people have to say and attempting to educate each other. People who just yell or refuse to listen definitely scream uneducated.
Affliction or tap out t-shirt.
Homophobia and racism.
People who chew with their mouth open. General food etiquette drives me insane.
People who constantly accuses other people of thinking that they're better than them.
When people spell college collage.
Do you speak English? Especially in countries where one of the primary languages isn't English.
Saying this is just my opinion about something that is a matter of fact and not opinion. People wouldn't get sick if they took vitamin C once a day. That's just my opinion. No, it's not your opinion. It's a medical fact that you are either correct or incorrect about.
Using snowflake.
A few things. When someone doesn't care about gun safety, intentional flagging people with their firearm because it is funny, acting as if a firearm is a toy, frequent, unintentional firearm discharge, disinterest in learning how to properly clean their firearms, attempting to put the wrong ammo in the firearm or firearm magazine, loading the magazine backwards, inability to use proper muzzle control techniques, when carrying a firearm in public, frequent tapping, touching, or even upholstering of their firearm, and using phrases like, magazine clip, fully semi-automatic, assault rifle, ghost gun, gunshot loophole, littering and
not knowing or caring about the difference between your and your, there and there, its and its, his and his. For starters. Haha.
Men telling women to just hold their period blood in like we do when we need to pee.
Argumentative fallacies. Why are these not forced into school kids' heads? Anti-vax moms that believe vaccines cause autism.
Being an anti-vaxxer, my vote isn't going to change the outcome of the election, so why should I care about politics?
Confederate flag. Not being able to figure out modern technology despite constant daily exposure and usage of it. And #X200B. Most of our technology is so user-friendly and idiot-proof that not being able to operate it basically means that you can't figure out labeled buttons. I can't count how many times I've heard the computer has been hacked. I have a virus. Only to see that there's an error message on the screen with simple text explaining the exact problem at hand. There's really no excuse anymore. If you use the same machine every single day and have people show you the exact same process day after day and you still can't figure it out, then you're just stupid.
Facebook keeps taking down this picture, insert American flag draped over soldier's coffin or crying saluting soldier, like and share to keep it alive.
Same, but for Reddit, the stupid one that irks me is of the three wolves where they are snarling and the text is all see the beta world with her head down. You assume she's submissive, but she's actually down to protect her pack's alpha's throat from the outside aggressor. Wolves don't actually have alphas like that, and what is happening in the pic is just three wolves caught in a photo during a snarl, not a violent struggle or about to brawl moment, just wolves growling like they tend to do.
Insert minion meme here.
Yes. Interrupting, overtalking, or chuckling or speaking in mocking tones when you make a valid point. Example. Me, according to NASA. Them, hey, NASA? You believe everything the government tells you? Don't you know NASA lies? Never argue with an idiot. They drag you down to their level, then beat you with experience.
TBF. Depending on the topic at hand, educated people are just as guilty of that. It is more about emotional maturity.
Why waste time say lot word, when few word do trick?
Given on Google. Like someone will ask on Walmart's location page, do you guys have screws at this store, or are you guys open on Sunday? Like WTF.
Oh dear lord, that is annoying. I used to hate it when the Olympics came around because people I would watch it with would constantly ask the dumbest questions about the sports that A, you could Google in 2 seconds, and B, if you shut the hell up for 2 minutes the commentators will probably answer the question for you.
I wonder if these people are just secretly bored and trying to socialize. I know that sounds pathetic, but Ask Reddit is a good example of people asking dumb and repetitive questions, presumably just for social interaction.
So true. You should use that website. Let me Google that for you, and these posts usually have a number of likes from people who mechanically like every post from certain people without reading them. And woe betide should you correct them or say you don't understand what they are asking. You are now the monster.
Thank you for watching. We publish amazing Reddit stories every day. If you are new to this channel, please subscribe to keep the dog smiling.